Welcome to GFAtv. This is TY. So in this episode, we're going to talk about how to use 3 fingers to play any scale. Okay, so in this scale, we commonly call it AMI scales, but more precisely, we can call this one we're going to do right now IAM scales. Why? Because we're going to use the I finger as the head, as the leader of this scale. Okay, so it goes like this. First step, as you can see, is I, A, M, I, A, M, I. Start with I, ending with I. So we're going to do from the G. So G, C, and G. So this is part of a C major scale, okay? And then second step, we're going to do from D, 3rd string. I, A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I. Next one, from 4th string, 3 notes down every time. So A. Okay, so A. One more time. I'm going to read right-hand fingerings. I, A, M, 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 I. Okay, 1 string lower, 3 notes down. Okay, so 5th string E. Okay, so I, A, I, A, M. So whenever we have, so we only use 3 fingerings on the left hand. So we either do 1, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 4, and then the 3rd fingering just came up is, okay? Or, so we're going to have only 1 stretchy fingerings, which is like skip 1 fret every time. So we use 1, 2, 4, okay? 1, 2, 4 in this case. Okay, let's do one more time from E. So I, A, M, 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 I. Okay. Penultimate one. Okay, so 6th string, B, I, A, M, 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 I, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I. The ultimate one. Okay. From 2nd finger on the A, 6th string. Okay, so I, A, M, 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 I. Okay, that is exercise. Okay, so when we do this exercise, you can do either 1 against 2 or 1 against 3. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so this is 132. 1 against 2 sounds like this. So like this. One beat, metronome, you play 2 notes. Last one. Okay, and then when you're getting into a higher speed, you can also do by 3 notes, because sometimes we play a music that is like 6/8. Okay, so as you can see, when we play by 3. We always start with I finger, okay? So I. this. For example, this. We can do this. Okay, so this is for this episode, and then wishing you all very good practice sessions. Okay, see you in the next GFAtv.
All right, GFAtv viewers, we're going to chill things out a little bit with some arpeggio meditations. What in the world could this be? There's a couple of things I like to do with arpeggios. I really like to listen to my body when I'm playing in general. It helps me stay loose, helps me stay in tune with my body and keep tension from building up. If I can be aware of when it's starting to build up, I can do something to allow it to dissipate. Maybe most importantly, I really like to think about my breathing. We play an instrument that's pretty easy to disconnect our breath pattern from our playing. When you think about singing, playing a wind or brass instrument, it's pretty impossible to separate your breathing from your playing. Finally, I just like to listen to my sound. I struggle a lot with nails. I have very thin nails that love to hook. I have a pretty severe ridge in my ring finger, which needs daily, if not sometimes hourly, attention. And it's this vicious battle of filing the nail down and filing the ridge out, but filing too much away and having too little ring nail. It's one or the other always. I have enough nail and the ridge is there, and it kind of catches the string and gives me just a sound that I'm not particularly crazy about. So arpeggios give me a chance to just get in touch with my body, get in touch with my breath, get in touch with the strings and my sound quality. I always like to say to my students, you can say all the fancy words, you can have a huge vocabulary on the instrument, you can tell a great story. You can't escape the sound of your voice. So your voice on the instrument, your sound quality. So with regards to arpeggios and arpeggio meditation, I'm going to hold down an E minor chord. Kind of a common first position open voicing. Truth be told, I'm not even going to go near the bottom two strings today, so I really just need to hold one note. I'm going to fret a middle E. I'm going to use my third finger, but you could really use any finger. I'm going to start off with just E, open, G, B, and E. If we're feeling fancy, we may add something in here. I'm going to play on just the top four strings. I'm not ready right yet today to deal with my ring finger as it moves down the string. So I'm just going to deal with my ring finger on one string for now. I also struggle on my bass strings with my thin hooky nails from that stuff. I'm going to try and avoid that one for this first arpeggio meditation as well. I'm going to play the most natural arpeggio pattern I can. And though I think a lot of us learn P-I-M-A, moving away from the thumb as an early arpeggio, makes a lot of sense. I always like the opposite, A-M-I-P. Maybe for two reasons. I find that natural closing of the hand to be something that I came pre-programmed with. Before my guitar days, I could close the hand, and that I had a lot of experience just closing the hand in that way. It seems natural. It also sort of gives me an opportunity to de-emphasize the thumb. So often the bass, so often the beat, so often the foundation. So I'm going to emphasize the finger that drives me nuts, at least initially. And as I meditate, if I'm feeling good, I may move that accent around. I'm going to play at a consistent beat. As I do this, and as I ask you to play with me, think about your body, feel your shoulders, feel your fingertips, your neck, your back, your posture. Move around inside your body and feel the different components that are involved in playing the guitar. I even think about my feet, which are both flat on the floor now. And then become aware of your breathing. In a follow-up exercise, we'll time our breathing to arpeggios. So here we go. I'm going to play AMIP consistently for the next minute. Now I'm all chilled out. Have fun.
Now, today we will try to achieve all 4 fingers. We will move 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Starting on the 3rd string, again, you're gonna look for the 3rd finger first and then see how you can place the rest of the finger bases with the bases from the planting on the 3rd. Then you can find 4, 3, 2, 1. Good? And then you can start doing ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, and remember to do weight shifting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. First string. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, first string. Remember, if you feel uncomfortable on the lower strings, don't start there. Just don't go there until you don't feel comfortable getting. You can add the strings later on. You only need to do what you feel that you can control and that your hand will allow to. Don't worry about going too fast. It's very important to have very firm steps, meaning that you feel very secure with each one of the exercises, that you feel very confident. Oh, I'm getting it. I understand what Rene wants. We want to have this amount of pressure that is only limited to what you need to create a sound. Not much pressure on the thumb, not squeezing on the hand, feeling the weight and understanding how relaxation and how your arm will work with the guitar rather than labor your way through. Okay? So, in this combination, 1, 2, 3, 4, we went through all of that. Remember to have the clearance. When you get in towards the basses, don't be afraid that your palm may be even touching sometimes the fingerboard. It's okay. It will give you a stability. And if you feel that you're touching the first string, and in some parts you need to do that, you can just release tiny bit to create more arch and here and not touch the first string. But I wouldn't worry too much about that now. However, okay, one thing I wanted to talk from the very beginning, and after we have done, if you notice, every time when I play, I move my hand this way, feeling what I call the weight in each finger. This, in music, is called a vibrato. I'm not using it, it's a musical resource that musicians have to alterate how the pitch behaves. If you want the note to be longer, there are different type of vibrato. But in this case, I'm not using it from the musical perspective of it, but rather from the relaxation aspect of it. So when I'm doing this on the third finger and I'm playing and I do this, what I'm trying is to make sure that my hand is not clamping, because when you're clamping, it's very hard to do vibrato, but rather just minimize that and just feel the way in each finger. And then you can do like a little circles, and then you can do side to side, see? Side to side, or a little bit of a circular motion. The idea is to play and then feel each finger, so you're not overpressing. And then, see, one, and I relax, I relax. When I'm doing that, I'm relaxing. That's what I'm looking for there. So there are many connotations, and I should mention that quickly. When you play all of the fingers, and then go back to the string, slowly, of course, you don't have to worry about speed. Okay? Brilliant. So, there are different kind of vibratos, and this is now the musical perspective. In the vibratos, you can do very fast. I'm not going to get too much specific, but you can do very fast speed or slow. And then that gets also altered by where you put it. Like you can play the note and then vibrate after to give it a little bit of extra life. Or you can, from the very beginning, already move. When you're doing that, make sure that you're not pressing, okay? So, just okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would suggest to do it slow. You don't have to vibrate fast at the beginning, because what I want you to find is your relaxation and how your thumb behaves. Okay? Go through all the strings little by little, not rush. Try to keep a pulse, even if you have a metronome. Just like a second, okay? So do that, and I'm sure you will little by little understand how your left hand behaves and how each finger feels independently from each other and together also, because there will be times that you want them to be independent, and there are times that you want them to work as a unit in the same direction, the same motion. So it's very important to learn how to feel those two things. Transferring weight, also very important, so you're not overpressing. And make sure that every single one you can even take, listen to the pause between the notes. It's very important that you feel the pause between the notes, because then you will be listening to every note with full intent. What do you want to listen in that full intent is that the note is beautiful, is round, it's sounding all nice, and it's not buzzing, making noise. Then you will realize where to put is something that we haven't talked before, is where to put the fingers. You want to put them right before the fret. Every time. When you are before the fret, you will have to press almost nothing to get that. The farther back you are in the fret, the more pressure you need to apply to create a clean attack. Thank you for watching. I see you in the next chapter.
Hello, GFAtv viewers. My name is Javi, and I'm going to be taking you through a little bit of a workout routine today. Why do I call it a workout routine? Well, simply because we have to use our muscles to play guitar, the muscles in our hands and the muscles in our arms. So that generally means that sometimes in order to play that passage that we can't quite get right, or to play that piece that's a level above us, sometimes we just need to exercise a little bit in order to get a bit stronger than we were before. So the exercise that we're going to be looking at today is found in the Pumping Nylon book by Scott Tennant, and if you are not familiar with this book, I highly recommend it. It's a very good technique book. So this exercise looks at finger independence in the left hand.
Now, why is finger independence important? It's simply important because sometimes we need to hold down notes on the neck, but we also need to get to another bass note here, or another bass note there. We still need to hold down a note. And it's mainly so that when we throw a finger down onto a fret, we don't have the whole rest of the hand going with it, or trying to go with it. And it's mainly about relaxation in the fingers, and also focusing our attention and our movement on only one finger rather than a whole part of the hand. So this exercise, we simply start on the 3rd string, 5th fret, and we plant down all 4 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and 4 to get started. And we fix 2 of them while moving the other 2. So we start by fixing 3 and 4, and we can move 1 and 2 around. So this is just the intro, but grab your guitar if you don't have it already, and let's get started. Okay, so here we have our first exercise where we are simply planting 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the 3rd string, and we're going to keep 3 and 4 fixed. We're going to move 1 and 2 around to sort of test our range of movement, and you can do this at whatever tempo suits you. The slower the better, I think, at first. You're not going to get a whole lot out of this exercise by going fast, but generally what you're trying to do is move your fingers rather slowly and fluidly, as smoothly as possible. So you're not trying to shoot your fingers to the next note to get them there as fast as possible, but rather, more in general, trying to get them there as slow as possible. So here's our second exercise. We plant 1 and 4 this time. And this time we're just going to flex 3 and 2 around a little bit and start going with those. Now, 3 and 2 is already getting quite a bit harder. With finger independence, we really want to just make sure that the planted or fixed fingers are relaxed and not in a state of tension. So 2 and 3 are just trying to be as gentle as possible on the strings, and 1 and 4 are just sort of sitting there in a relaxed state. We're going to give our hand a rest between each of these. Back on. Now we're planting 1 and 2. Now this is the hardest one for me. And after you plant your fingers, you can kind of move them around to see how much motion you have, but 3 and 4 is tremendously difficult. For one, just because, like I mentioned, the 4th finger is notoriously weak. You're gonna want to feel your shoulder with this one, and also your arm in general, to facilitate the movement, because while we're moving 4, we want to move our arm gradually with it. 4, as a little pinky, is not really strong enough to do a whole lot on its own. So facilitating its movement with the arm a little bit here and there really goes a long way. So I'm just going to add a few more of these in here because this one's so tricky. Relaxing the hand quite a bit after this one is important, I would say. Now we're planting 1, 3, 2, 3, and 4 again. This time leaving 1 and 3 on. So we're going to be moving 4 and 2. So we want to be listening for those legato notes, the ones that are being held over before that same finger has to move again. Always relaxing into the fixed fingers rather than having them tense. Generally, we want to play next to the fret to get a better sound. Relaxing the hand again. And here we have planting 2 and 3. We're going to move 4 and 1. Rock on. Forward 1 is a little bit easier. It's kind of fun, I feel like. Sort of feels like my fingers are dancing. Now, if you need to take a break from these, take a break for as long as you need to, but in general, we really are just building up muscle and getting stronger by doing this. There's not a whole lot of musical content here, I guess as you can see, but doing this will really help us in the long run to just allow our fingers to go where they need to go. This time planning 2 and 4, and moving 3 and 1. And this will be our last set. This one is also quite a bit easier than the 3 and 4 variation that we saw. Anytime you're using the pinky, it's going to be quite a bit more difficult than when you're not. Okay, there we go. That's all of them. Okay, so we made it through all of them. I highly suggest that you take these exercises and you practice them a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be every day, but occasionally putting in 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there can go a long ways to strengthening your left hand muscles and gaining further finger independence. So it just like working out, just like going to the gym, you're not going to become totally ripped in one day. It's going to take little by little, day by day, building it up. So best of luck to you and keep at it.